I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about, will my ex think about me on my birthday? Man, when you're going through a breakup, if your birthday is even within several months, you are probably going to be thinking about it. Maybe not daily,
Right.
but as it gets close, definitely daily. It just becomes such an important thing in that breakup where you're trying to figure out if your partner is still thinking about you or still cares about you.
Yeah, and many people go all out on their birthday. I think we all know that one person who has a birthday week instead of just the birthday. Some people go out and have a birthday month.
I feel attacked right now.
So what happens when you break up? Do they still think about you on your birthday? Is that day as significant to them as it is to you? And if you did have celebrations together in the past, do they remember these? I think these are all questions that we ask ourselves during a breakup.
Yeah. And, we talk in other videos about what to do in regards to the birthday and their birthday.
It comes up all the time.
We have a specific video that goes into the details of that one. You could check that one out. But we really wanted to focus more about your ex and what they're going through because, we know what you're going through. It's just terrible. And, you're going to kind of think about the breakup and what happened with you last year, what happened with their their birthday, and all of those things are going to kind of come up when you're trying to assess, really, are they going to come back?
Yeah.
And sometimes they will use your birthday as an excuse to reach out and as an indirect direct.
Yeah, that's very true. And there's also a cultural component to this. And me and Margaret were just talking about this seconds ago.
Yeah.
Where certain cultures emphasize birthdays more. Part of my family is Sicilian, and I remember for some summers that we would go visit, whenever it was somebody's birthday, it would be a ginormous fest with everybody in the family
no
invited.
kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a very big deal. So there could be a cultural component where some cultures emphasize this more. And there's also special gifts and traditions within each culture that happen on birthdays. For us in America, we normally have a cake and share gifts, which I think is pretty normal across the board. But there are certain special gifts that you might have given your ex or your ex might have given to you that are not easy to forget. And one personal example I can use is I remember for one of my ex's birthdays, I gave him a CD with songs that I had personally wrote and recorded. And I gave this to him for his birthday. So anytime anybody ever asks me like, oh, I see that you like to do music. Have you ever written any of your own songs? I immediately think of those songs that I wrote for him on that CD. So it's not just the day, but also any items that are related to your birthday that could strike up a memory.
Yeah. And so, you're probably spending a lot of time wondering what's going to happen. Are they going to reach out? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. A lot of times it has to do with how far away from the breakup when it happened. Like, sometimes if it's really close to the breakup, they will reach out because they still feel like they have to kind of say it to you. Sometimes if it's like 6 months out, it's one of those things where if they've been looking for an excuse to reach out, now they've got one. But I know what that feeling is like when you just stare at your phone all day and the only thing you really care about is hearing from that ex. That's the only thing that matters. Anybody could give you the nicest gift in the world and you trade it in to hear from your ex.
It won't make any difference.
Yeah. If somebody gives me a Ferrari, it'll make a difference.
Well, that would make a difference, yeah.
But, still, most of you would pick I'd rather hear from my ex.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not over a Ferrari, but but you know,
Yeah.
over a reasonable gift, people are going to be like, I would much rather have just heard from that person that I love.
Exactly. And it can be incredibly disappointing when you don't hear from your ex, because now you're correlating that with the idea of, wow, they never really cared about me,
Yeah.
or they've completely forgotten about me. And I think this is a fear that many people have. And that, Margaret, I know that you see a lot where people are like, they've never cared about me.
Oh yeah, they
don't
never
care
cared about me. Yeah, the whole thing was a lie. The whole thing was a sham.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't. And they'll say, well, they'll be able to forget me in 2 minutes. No human being can do that. But I was also going to say one of the common calls we get is that I'm doing no contact, like you said we should, and I'm doing great, but her birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. What should I do?
Yeah. And, you know, we don't really encourage reaching out for the birthday. And like I said, we've talked about that in depth in several other videos that you could check out. But, you know, even if your ex doesn't reach out, and believe me, I understand how incredibly disappointing that is when that happens. It doesn't mean that they didn't think about you. It simply doesn't mean that. They know when your birthday is, okay? They're not going to just forget your birthday. They're going to think about you.
Yeah.
Whether or not they've reached out does not indicate that they have forgotten you, right? Because, you know, they could still be confused about things or not ready to have any communication with you yet, or are still processing everything. Or maybe they're even in a rebound relationship right now and they're still in the fantasy of this rebound working out when they haven't really grown through and figured out what happened with you in your relationship. So, you know, regardless of if they reach out, it doesn't mean that they've forgotten you or not thought about you on your birthday. Margaret, do you agree?
Absolutely. You can't turn it off like it was a faucet, you know?
And I'm also thinking about the couples who have been together for a really long time, those long-term relationships.
Sure.
Imagine how many birthdays, how many gifts, how many parties that you all have shared together. That's definitely not going to be easily forgotten, and they are going to remember that date. And you do also want to remember, if they do reach out, you don't want to jump on it. You don't want to take this as your opportunity to talk about the relationship and work things out. It would feel incredible to hear from somebody that, you know, you think you've lost forever on a special day and commemorating you and your birth. I think that's very special.
Oh, yes.
But you have to remember to stay cool, calm, and collected. Remain polite. You also don't want to ignore them. But if they do reach out, you do want to be prepared for that, even if it is your birthday.
Yeah, because, you know, it's hard to know what their motive is. Are they just reaching out for your birthday to be polite because they care about you, or is it because they've been looking for an excuse to contact you? And so you got to look at what they're doing, right? You can't just assume it's one or the other.
Right.
Maybe they're unconsciously thinking about repairing it, but they're presenting it as I'm just
wishing you happy birthday.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, those things happen. And, you know, sometimes you've been dating somebody for just a little bit or not long enough for them to know your exact birthday, but they're probably going to have an idea of when it is. And you know what I mean? Like, they might not remember it's like June 19th, but they're probably going to be like, I feel like the birthday is coming up, and maybe looking at your stories and wondering and checking to see if you've been celebrating on social media.
Yeah, and I can attest to this personally. Even though I don't remember the exact date, I can tell you that I can remember the month or the time around.
Yeah, sure.
Even my ex from 7 years ago. I still do remember that time period. And it also helps if they're into astrology, because they're likely to remember your sign and the season.
Sure.
So that's another way that somebody could think of you on your birthday. And once again, birthdays are especially hard to forget because how special it is, particularly to you, and also all those memories that are attached to it. So it's not just about the date, although there is the whole anniversary reaction, which we do talk a lot about in other videos, but it's also all of those memories attached to that birthday.
I think we put a lot of emphasis on the meaning behind it if they don't reach out.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't love me anymore.
They don't love me, or they never loved me, like you said. Yeah.
I would say that while we can't say that that's not true or absolute, I would say that if they don't reach out, it's probably more likely because they just weren't ready to talk for whatever reason than any indication that they've forgotten about you.
Right. I would
Right.
agree. People don't forget about you. They can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your birthday's coming up and you're watching this video, I know what it's like. I know about the obsessing, that you feel like it's the only thing that matters if you hear from that one particular person. And it's tough. It is tough. And it's not a fun feeling to not hear from that person on that day. You do want to remember all the people that do care about you. And you want to do your best to celebrate it with the people that do want to be in your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do that. We know that. But you have other people that love you and care about you and want to enjoy you and make you happy and celebrate you in their life. And you want to value them because they want to be in your life and they're making an effort to be in your life. So appreciate them despite being disappointed or sad.
And you also want to use this time to do something for yourself. It can feel pretty crummy to be obsessive about your ex on a day that's supposed to be yours. So remember, it's your birthday. It's not your ex's birthday.
Good point.
Try to do something
Good
for yourself
point.
that you
Yeah.
like, even if it's
Yeah.
indulging in an entire cake.
Yeah.
And as Craig said, it's very easy when you're devastated by a breakup to forget the other people who love you.
Yeah.
And it's very important to reach out to them.
Yeah, because they do want to celebrate your birthday
Sure.
with you. And if you can find a way to be present and enjoy the people that really love you and are wanting to spend that day with you, you'll appreciate it even more than if you're just sitting at home sad and upset because one person didn't want to be there or talk to you.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is a common thing that comes up, and it's totally
Very
understandable.
often. Very often. Yeah.
Hopefully you found this helpful. Let us know in the comments if we missed anything or want us to talk about it in the future again. Bring up any other points. Let us know. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, you could go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching options that work best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. And Coach Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful, please sign up.
Click on Margaret on the top of the website to get a coaching with her. And of course, Coach Victoria will continue to train with us.
I'll be here.
But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.